Coming up next, I'm going to teach you how to push past rejection when you're job searching. And then in the news, towns are offering money for you to move there. What? We'll look into it and your calls, and it all starts now. All right, coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios here in Nashville. This is, in fact, the Ken Coleman Show. Thrilled to have you with us. 844-747-2577. That's the phone number to jump in. This show is about you, specifically your purpose. And that purpose has a lot to do with your profession. Now, you are not who you are at work 100%. Right? It's not all of your identity. In fact, you can make the argument it's none of your identity, but this isn't about identity. We're talking about purpose. So your identity and your purpose, they can coexist. But the reality is that you were created to contribute through your work. That's why everybody asks the question, why am I here? What should I do with my life? That's why you want more than a paycheck. If you got a good paycheck right now, and you don't hate your job, but you're going, I just think there's more there. There is. And so we want to help you combine your income and your impact to do what you were created to do in the workforce. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. Okay, I want to jump right in today because I know that persistence can be really, really hard when you're hearing no's or when you're hearing crickets. By the way, Joe, we need a cricket sound effect. Not right now, but just in the future. I think it would be fun because, wow, that was fast. That was really fast. I like that, Joe. So let's do this. We'll do this live for everybody because these are the two answers that you hear when you are on the path to purpose and you are getting rejected. You're going to hear a no, and no hurts. It stings. Can we acknowledge that? Because I'm going to talk to you about how to get through this in a second. But also, worse than a no, because a no gives me an answer, gives me finality. It's like, oh, okay, it's a no. But when I hear crickets, it's fantastic work, Joe. Fantastic work. When I hear crickets, guess what happens? I don't get closure. I don't get closure. Do you remember as a kid, Nathan? I don't know if this was a thing when you were in school, but I know for Joe and Amanda and I, this was a thing. But did you ever have a girl do this to you, or did you do it to a girl where you wrote a little note and you said, "Do you like me? Yes or no"? Did you ever do that? That wasn't a thing?
No.
That went away. Good. It's probably a good thing.
I was in a super tiny church school, so.
Okay, maybe that's it too. Here's the deal. You know what I'm talking about though, right? I mean, I got to test this off of Nathan's age group, all right? He's the youngest one in the control booth. But here's the deal. When you would write that note and pass it to a friend, do you like me, yes or no, right? Every once in a while, I saw one with a maybe, okay? And I remember doing this. Let me tell you what I really freaked out about was the maybe. The no, while it hurt, I was able to go, all right, there's other fish in the sea. Maybe we'll try a note to Jenny in row number 4. Right? We get a no and it stings and it hurts, but at least there is some sense of finality. The maybe or the crickets, when we get nothing back, it eats us alive. So those are your two responses. And they kill us. I get it. You're human. But here's the deal. Handling the sting of rejection might be one of the most important things to learn how to do on your journey to doing what you were born to do. Because it can really delay you. It can distract you. It can discourage you. It just can. But you got to learn how to go, you know what? It's not personal. Feels personal. It's not personal. Feels personal. Not personal. Get it in your head. Feels personal. It's okay. It's not personal. Okay, I got to toughen up. I got to move on. And here's something that I heard many, many years ago in an interview I did with a well-known media anchor. And she said from her career, she said, I learned to take the no's and we're going to add the crickets, the no responses, being ghosted. Let's add that to this category. The no's and the crickets, I learned to turn those into not yet, not here, not now. Not yet, not here, however you want to say it, not now. And that's a great perspective. Yes, it still will sting, but it also is an indicator that we need to embrace. It's not a no. A no feels final. I just talked about that. And we can kind of embrace that. But then we got to turn that into not now. This isn't the time. Clearly. Not here. Had our eyes set on something. I really wanted to work for this company. Really wanted to work for this company. Oh. Not here. Or not now. Let me give you a personal story on this to wrap this up. I started with Ramsey Solutions in June of 2014. But I will tell you that it was 2012 when I came up here, because I knew Dave, I knew several leaders within the organization, and I came up here one day, and because of the friendships, they gave me a meeting opportunity. I wanted to talk about working for them. This is a true story. Several people were in the room, and it was crazy that I got the audience that I got, but I just said, hey, I think you all need a host. I think you need a host to do this. True story. And they listened. They were very nice, and they thought about it, and they asked lots of questions. And then we just said, great meeting. We'll be in touch. And the conversation kind of went along, and it didn't catch any speed, didn't go anywhere. And I kind of got a really soft no, right? Obvious. They're like, no, it's not right now. Not a bad idea. This is not right now. And Joe, 2 years later, I get a call to come up and host the very first Smart Conference at Ramsey Solutions. And while I was here for a day, planning that as a contract host, that's it. Dave Ramsey walks in with 3 other executives and said, they've been talking about me behind my back. And he goes, it's good. And we want to pitch you on an idea. And it was the opportunity to come here. Now, let me just tell you, that sounds like a really awesome romantic story, but I want you to go back to what I've been teaching on, because I felt all those things that I just described. It wasn't crickets. They gave me a no. It was a very nice no. And I had to deal with the fact that it made sense to me. I pitched them on it. They ended up hiring me largely in a role that I pitched to them 2 years prior that they weren't ready to do. And they said no. And I had to be disappointed because I felt like I was supposed to be here. Turns out I was. But that no ended up being a not yet or not now. Now, at the time, it was a no for them and for me. And I moved on. I didn't get bitter. And I kept moving on, and going. And that no turned into a yes. But I didn't know that. I didn't keep bugging them about it and kicking the door down and any of that nonsense. I didn't. That no was not a no. It turned out to be a not now. How beautiful is that? So you are going to face rejection in the job search. You are. And it's going to sting. But you know what you do? You get right back up on the saddle. Which is why, by the way, I'm endorsing ZipRecruiter. I'm just going to move right into this and tell you. Look, I endorse them every day, and I wasn't planning to talk about it now, but with this topic, you just get back up on the saddle. They're going to get leads for you, and companies are going to reach out to you. Okay? And if it doesn't go anywhere, you don't delete your profile. You stay with it. That's why you have a recruiter like a ZipRecruiter work for you. So here's the deal. If you're in the job search right now and you're worried about the rejection and the suck and all that stuff, they're the best way to get hired because they're the world's largest job site. Number one recruiter. Their candidates are 3 times as likely to get hired because of their technology and their matching process. It's all together. It's beautiful. You go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. That's your site. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Takes a couple minutes to fill out a profile. You submit it. They begin to push your profile, to companies that have jobs that match up with your profile. It doesn't mean you're going to get every one of those and get hired, but it does mean they're pitching you and it's already a good fit, and companies are signing up and paying ZipRecruiter for these matches. You don't pay a dime. It's free. And the company contacts you directly, and now you're in for the interview. And then take what I just taught and learn to turn rejection into redirection. Turn rejection into redirection. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken, a great tool to help you. Okay, 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577 is the number to jump in. Remember, you can change your name, your location, to protect the privacy and the sensitivity of some of these calls. We're okay to do that for you. We want to do that because we want to give you help. We understand that some of this stuff is sensitive stuff. It's your livelihood. So know that we will do that for you. 844-747-2577. Louisville, Kentucky is where we go next. Lindsay joins us. Lindsay, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, thanks so much for taking my call, Ken.
You bet, Lindsay. What's going on?
So I have a question about what is the best way to handle a boss who is kind of negative and degrading when you know that you have the skills to do a really great job. I'm in a situation like that, and I just find it so hard to be motivated every day to do my best and be successful for him and for the business. It's a smaller business, so I just feel like we could all work really well together if there weren't these obstacles.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Lindsay. I hate that you're going through this. Let's break this down a little bit more. Give me a couple of examples, maybe the worst examples you can think of the negative and degrading treatment.
Well, I haven't been there a real long time, but from day one, it's just been like very fast paced, which is great, but I haven't felt like I really got a chance to learn, and so I'll just get asked these questions that feel like I'm expected to know the answers to and not really given a chance to look it up. If it's something that I need to look up, it's like almost a never mind, you're not worth my time kind of mentality. I'll walk in the morning with a smile on my face and say good morning, and if I'm met with a response, it's usually not that enthusiastic, and it's just hard to put into words, but it's this constant feeling of like I'm disappointing when I haven't really even gotten a chance.
How long have you been there?
3 weeks.
Okay,
so not a long time at all.
What kind of work are you doing?
I'm a business development manager, so eventually that'll turn into a heavy sales role, but right now it's just kind of helping get the business build up so that it can grow and expand. We have
What kind of business? What kind of business is this?
Pool construction.
So you guys do pools. And so you're out there right now trying to find clients or trying to build up awareness, brand, something, and it's kind of a pre-sales role. Is that what I'm hearing?
Partially. We have more business than we can handle because of supply shortages and things like that. So
Right.
it's a lot in the office of getting things ready to really grow and perform when we're able
How
to
many
get
people are on
product.
the team?
About 8, but some are part-time.
And is your boss, the one you're talking about, the owner of the company?
Correct.
How long has he or she been doing this?
This particular business, 2 years, but more experience in the industry.
So is it a guy or a gal?
A guy.
Okay, so here's the reality. I want to shoot straight with you. I am in no way minimizing how you're feeling, but I will tell you that it is enlightening to me right now, unless you've got more detail, that when I asked you to explain the negative and degrading behavior, what you told me was, what I heard was a little bit of irritation and maybe some impatience and some dismissiveness. But I didn't hear any degrading stuff. Now, I'm not saying that you're not right, but I really want to help you see what I'm seeing as you begin to report back to me what you're experiencing. This might just be a personality style and a lack of leadership awareness, which while that needs to be addressed by him, it doesn't sound like you're being degraded. Degrading to me, when I hear that, it's that he's insulting you, making you feel, just really, really awful about yourself. Is that happening?
I would say feel bad, but I don't know about really, really awful. I think maybe I read too much into it at
That's
times.
what I'm getting at. Is he saying things that are very obvious, or are you reading his body language or his briefness in his comments? Maybe he's short with you and he's got some attitude all over him. I mean, I feel like that's definitely happening, correct?
Correct.
All right. So that is almost as bad as or worse than a negative comment, because the negative comment you've got a comment to deal with, right? But when you've got this kind of an attitude and you don't know what he's really thinking, that's worse. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. Do you want to work there? Is this someplace you want it to work out? It sounds like you're hopeful. Like this could really be a good fit for you.
You know, I really struggle on getting clear with exactly what I want to do.
How old are you, Lindsay?
25.
Okay. So here's the deal. If you want to be there long term, then what you're going to have to do is sit down and go, hey, I'm 3 weeks into this. I feel like I've identified a couple of things that I'm not doing well, or I'm not pleasing you very well in this area. And it is my 3-week-old experience and opinion that is telling me I just need a little bit more training, and I need to sit with you and ask more questions and get answers and the how-tos so that I can do this job better. But I don't want to irritate you either. But I think if I can sit with you and get more know-hows and how you want me to do it, I feel like I can do better here. I think that's a conversation you need to have. But put it that way. Don't put it on him and say, hey, you're making me feel this way. Just go, hey, I'm sensing some frustration, and I don't want to frustrate you. But I feel like as I'm looking at some areas, and give him real concrete examples. The other day, I didn't do this the right way, and so I don't know how to do it. If you show me how, I'm going to bust my butt, and I'm going to do it the right way. I think that's the conversation that needs to happen. It comes from a place of humility and hunger. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't feel like there's any kind of, I don't feel like he's coming from a place of ugliness. I just think this is a guy who hasn't led a lot of people, got a lot of pressure, blah, 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 blah. And I think you just need to go, hey, if you show me how to do this, this, and this, and spend a little more, what else can I do to learn to do this better? Ask him what he can pour into you so you can do it better, so he knows that, oh, I've got a humble gal here and I've got a hungry gal. She wants to do better and get this right. And I think that that's the way I would approach this. If it continues to happen and he doesn't show you, and it's truly about the fact that you're not trained properly to do your job, but you've got to be emotionally honest here and go, it's not just the way he acts and the way he makes me feel. I know that he's not trained me and I'm not able to do it. He's just kind of telling me to figure it out. And when I ask him how I can figure it out better, he's resistant to that, then we got a problem. Okay, then you move on. But here's what I want you to do. Lindsay, you don't know if this is a long-term play for you. So I want to give you as my gift, okay, my brand new Get Clear Career Assessment. It's going to walk you through. It's about a 25 to 30-minute assessment, okay? And it's going to tell you your top talents, what you do best. It's going to tell you your top passions, the work you love to do most. And it's going to identify for you the missional results that matter to you, what you really want to produce. Talent, passion, mission. It's going to fill out a purpose statement for you that you can use as a professional guide. It's going to point you to many professional possibilities. Some will be a fit, some will not. If you're willing to take that and get clear, I'm going to give it to you. You in?
I'm in. Thank you.
All right. I'm investing $30 into you because I know you're going to turn that into an incredible legacy. I'm really proud of you for calling. Don't get down and get determined right now. Do what I told you to do in the meantime, and let's see if this is a good fit for you. Then take the Get Clear assessment. You're young enough to where you can pivot right now, okay? So if you have questions, by the way, after you take the assessment, Amanda, let's get her back on. And when we have that Get Clear assessment result, you and I can walk through that on the phone, and it'll be fantastic. You in?
I'm in. Thank you.
You bet, Lindsay. Appreciate you. Hang on the line. We'll get that to you. Let's go to Oakhurst, New Jersey now, where Izzy joins us. Izzy, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. It's surreal talking to you. How are you doing?
Well, that's very nice. I appreciate that, but I'm excited to talk to you. In fact, Izzy, you're the first Izzy I've ever talked to in my life, so it is equally surreal for me.
That's good. That's good. That calms me a little.
Good. Hey,
so let me give you an overview.
Okay.
I'm 37, married with 2 kids. I worked for the federal government for the past 12 years. It is not my passion at all. It's the opposite of my passion. Even though I'm grateful for the job,
right?
It's not something I'm excited to do.
Sure.
But the good news is I know my passion.
Oh, which is?
My passion is to help young people whether they just graduated high school or college, help young people learn the skills that they didn't learn through regular education.
Like
such
what?
Such as learning their strengths, risk-taking, stuff that's not taught in school, financial responsibility and critical thinking skills, such as, in my opinion at least, the traditional educational model through college does not teach these skills.
Right.
And I became a certified coach, and I find myself stuck in terms of how to move forward. I'm not even sure who do I get close to. And so, like, every once in a while I get motivated. I work on things, I take risks, and then my motivation just dies and it stops, and I restart the engine again. And I'm just at a place where it's like, I don't want to settle for what I'm settling for, even though I'm grateful. I have a lot of gratitude for where I am in life.
Yep.
But I don't want to settle.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to move forward. And it's like, help me.
Yes, sir. I'm so glad you called. Okay, so Izzy, it's very simple. What we have to identify is what is holding you back. Okay? Right now, you are tied to something. Something is holding you back. And so let's break down motivation for just a second. Izzy, tell me and everybody else watching and listening what the root word of motivation is.
The thing that comes to mind is enthusiasm. I don't know if that's...
No, the root word of motivation is motive, correct?
Motive, right.
Motive, right? In other words, what's your why? So when we watch a legal movie or courtroom drama movie, right, the lawyers are trying to prove or disprove what? Motive. Why did the person do the thing? You understand?
Yes.
All right. You told me that you'll get a little bit of headwind and you'll get going, and then you lose motivation. And so the reason you are losing motivation is because you are getting your eyes distracted. Your eyes are leaving your why. Your eye is not on your why. Am I still making sense?
You're making great sense.
All right. So what we have to figure out is, what is your eye, or what are your eyes being distracted by? So what is it? What?
I'm being honest. I'm in the self-development world. I constantly am looking to improve myself. I'm evolving. And I have noticed that I do get off track in terms of, let's say, I fall into, let's say, the ego gets in the way type of thing, where I want to be something significant or something like that. And I get away from what I'm really trying, my real purpose. So that was the past, in terms, like, I'm very aware of that now, where I got off focus because I was focused on, let's say I wanted to be a Tony Robbins type of thing, instead of the real purpose, which was to help people. My why, when I was younger, I graduated school. I didn't have identity. I didn't know where I was going in life, and I turned it around, and I want to do that for others.
Feels like you want to be a part of the Ken Coleman Army, sounds like to me, if I may be so bold. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Possibly, something like that.
That's what I'm getting at. I don't mean specifically. I just mean you and I have a lot of alignment here, right?
Yes.
As to our why. So here's the thing. I appreciate you being vulnerable on this, and I think you're absolutely right. That's held you in the past. But I also think it's coming down to fear, doubt, and pride. I think pride is what we saw from the past. That description you just gave us, that's your pride. Right? You're kind of going, well, I want to be bigger. And so pride's holding me back because I want to launch big. I want to be big. But here's what happens. We start focusing on big, 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 and it starts to get into fear and doubt. What are people going to think if I say this? Are they going to think I'm delusional with this big dream I've got? Doubt. I don't know that I actually can pull this off. I don't even know if I can make a good living and support my family doing this. Does this all sound about right?
Yes, for the most part, yeah.
Okay. You could fill in the blanks. I'm just trying to get you to a place of awareness. Fear, doubt, and pride are the enemies. Those are the buckets. You can come up with specific examples that always tie to fear, doubt, and pride. I'm trying to give you a mechanism for you to see what's going on. You know exactly what you're supposed to do and why. What I don't think you do know just yet is how I get there or where there is. How many there's are there to where I can do this? Am I a guidance counselor in public high school? I'm making all these things up. Izzy, it's for you to explore. Am I a career counselor on the collegiate level? Do I create my own coaching firm, which you've kind of dabbled in, at least you've thought about it. So what you have to figure out is, where are all the places I can do the thing I know I'm supposed to do, and then which are the ones do I get most jacked about? There's no wrong answer. And then you go, okay, once I figure out the one that I love the most, and just using those three examples to continue teaching for a moment, if those are your three, and I said, Izzy, which one gets you the most excited when you sit there and dream and think about it? You go, well, it's my own coaching company. Great. Well, that's an entrepreneurial deal. You're going to have to start that from scratch, and you're going to have to build that one customer at a time, which means you will need a day job unless you have the financial wherewithal to just walk away and fund your way through it, which I don't think that's you. So you go, okay, I got to have a day job like Ken Coleman did, selling sponsorships to live events and doing consulting for other small business owners and content providers while he starts his radio career, and he builds all this up, and it's going to take time. So once you get clear, then we go, how do I get there? How do I build it? And that leads to stage 2, get qualified. Stage 3, get connected. Stage 4, get started. You need to get off the couch and do this thing. But don't try to start it big. Start it small. Grow it slow. That's where you are.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Okay, so I've attempted to start my own coaching company, and I found myself getting, like, I was following what people were telling me what to do, like the people that coaches or coach people that want to start their own consulting thing.
Sure.
Firm or whatever, and I found myself going through, like, going in circles. It was very frustrating. Like I started my own podcast. I started doing Facebook Lives. I didn't feel authentic doing those, and I didn't enjoy it.
Okay,
either.
stop.
And I feel
Stop. So the fact that you didn't feel authentic, we need to figure out if that's real. Is that you going, you know what? If I look at Ken's sweet spot analogy, talent, using what I do best as a tool to do work that I really love, to produce results that matter to me, I would say that the podcast and the Facebook Live, that was on mission because it's about the results. You want to coach people. But I'm wondering if you had the imposter and doubt stuff going on, or you actually engaged in it and you go, it doesn't give me juice. What is it?
It doesn't give me juice. Okay. I get juice more in person than I do through.
So there's an indicator. So you don't want to be performing. You want to be coaching. You're coaching one-on-one, not to the masses, not on a platform. You just don't love that. So therein lies an answer. You weren't going in circles. You tried some things. And I love the fact that you tried some things. But you shouldn't have just quit on the whole thing just because you tried online stuff because everybody said you need an online presence. Well, not necessarily. So you got to know that you saying I attempted to start is just garbage thinking. It's stinking thinking, as Ted Lasso would say. Because you didn't attempt to start, you started, but then you stopped. So when we start, we start. And now I'm going to work on building up my coaching. And I know I'm going to do it word of mouth. And I know that I'm not going to do a bunch of online public stuff. I might advertise online. I might do Instagram posts that are content driven, but it's not going to be me on a mic or me on a camera because that drains me. Am I right?
Correct.
All right, Izzy,
Correct.
That's the deal. You just needed a kick in the pants, and I'm kicking you in the pants because I believe in you. I love what you said earlier in this call, and I want to remind you before I let you go. You said, I always known what I wanted to do. And I've allowed myself to get distracted trying to be a version of that is too reminiscent of somebody else. We don't need another Tony Robbins. We need more Izzy.
I agree.
All right, then.
Yes.
Then be Izzy.
Thank you.
All right, bro.
Thanks.
You got this. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. Quick break when we come back in the news. Don't miss it. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we're shielded through faith. and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
All right, folks, the Ken Coleman Show continues. 844-747-2577. I haven't talked about it yet today because it's so hard to not just talk about it all the time. Nathan, let's throw it up on the screen here. Here is the new book, From Paycheck to Purpose, The Clear Path to Doing Work You Love. Look at what the team did there. I'm going to tell you something. Leave that up there, Nathan. I would love to meet you all. I love when people come and watch the show live in the lobby, and I love meeting people. But when you meet me, I just want to prepare you. I'm not going to look that good. I just feel, Nathan, as though I need to say that. Okay, I'm going to resemble that, but that's like makeup and perfect lighting, and the team does such a great job with it. So there it is. There's the fun book cover. Here it is. Let's talk about it. Why did I write it? How's it different from the proximity principle? The proximity principle is a principle that is a deep dive into stage 3, get connected. If you look at my 7 stages, get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away. And by the way, we're going to create a graphic for this, so I talk about it, Nathan, and we're going to throw it up on the screen. We're going to create a graphic for this. Just wanted you to know. Team's working on it. So we can throw it up there and people can see the clear path visually. So this book, From Paycheck to Purpose, is a breakdown of the 7 stages. It is for anybody. Some of you are going, Ken, I don't see a whole lot of purpose in the work I want to do. I'm going to help you see that. This is for the person who knows what they want to do. Has no idea what they want to do. This is for the person who knows what they want to do, but they don't know how to get there. This is for the person who knows what they want to do. They know how to get there, but something's holding them back. We go into all of this, and it shows you what to do in each stage so that you now have a clear path for your life, for your professional purpose. This book, I pour out my guts, my story here. It's practical. It'll make you laugh. It might make you cry. But this is a fantastic breakdown of the 7 stages of everything that I do. So really proud of it. It is now available for pre-sale. It actually hits bookstores and the streets November the 9th, but now you can pre-order it and you get a big discount plus a bunch of freebies. So the deal is at kencoleman.com, it's $20 now to pre-order, and then we ship it to you. And you'll probably get it before the 9th, somewhere around the 9th of November. However, when you go to kencoleman.com, you get the option, if you pre-order it for $20, you get to pick from a couple of different freebie offerings. Over $100 worth of resources that we normally charge for are given to you, including the audiobook and the ebook. All right? All for $20 plus $100 worth of other stuff that is focused on either getting hired or getting promoted. So you'll see that on the website. Super simple to understand. We have one bundle, which includes the Get Clear Career Assessment. For 2 years, I've been working on what I do every day on this show, walking people through talent, what they do best, passion, work they love to do, mission, results they want to produce. And I do that with people verbally and kind of coach them. But now we've got a digital assessment that is reading people's minds. I'm so proud of it. It's going bananas. And you can get that assessment, which is normally $30. You get it for $10 if you pre-ordered the bundle. The book and the assessment, you get both of those for one price of $30. That's the best deal. And if you don't need the assessment, you're already super clear, give it to somebody. It's a fabulous deal. So there you go. I just wanted to tell you about it because this is the manual. From Paycheck to Purpose. This is the manual that'll lead you to doing what you were born to do. So excited about it. All right. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. Don't forget that. You got a 2-hour window to call us if you're watching and you're new. We got new people coming in all the time. 12 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. You can call that number and we'll coach you up. But now let's get to it. This is fantastic. In the news. All right. This article is absolutely unbelievable. From people.com, People Magazine, Joe. Headline reads, You can get paid up to $20,000 for moving to these U.S. towns. What? Amanda, I don't like the way you responded to that. I don't like it at all. You're not allowed to move.
I'm just
unless
saying it's a lot
in
of money.
this area. Thank you very much. All right. No, I'm kidding with her. Okay, here it is. Small towns and cities across the United States are capitalizing on the growing number of professionals working from home and are looking to lure them with a series of incentives, including cash. At least 45 different communities are offering incentives to attract more remote workers, some upwards of $20,000. MakeMyMove.com is the website that aggregates these offers from different towns. So if you're going, okay, Ken, okay, I'm in. I might be open to moving to a small town. MakeMyMove.com. Sure, I'll give them some love. And the reasons are varying. Some of these communities need skilled workers for the companies they have. Others are trying to make themselves attractive to larger companies. And some are simply trying to rebuild the tax base, their populations. It's really fascinating. So let's look at some of the areas offering cash. Some towns in southwest Michigan, Morgantown, West Virginia. That's the home of West Virginia University, by the way. Rutherford County, Tennessee. I feel like Rutherford County is in our news area. Am I right? Because I feel like when we have tornado, isn't Rutherford County kind of in this area?
Yeah, I think that's Murfreesboro.
No joke. That's 35 minutes from where I sit right now. Rutherford County. Wow, offering cash. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's see, what else we got here? So that's about it. I don't want to go there. It's unbelievable. Let me give you a story. This is great. Chanel Sherlin. This is from a USA Today article. Or People, I don't know. Chanel Sherlin was among those who made a move during the pandemic, trading in her apartment in Los Angeles for a remote town in northwest Arkansas. You want to talk about a pay raise. Just moving from L.A. to northwest Arkansas in and of itself is a pay raise. Good heavens. I would be fascinated to know how her household expenses, just kind of the living expenses, dropped just on rent or go listen to this. So she was able to buy a 4-bedroom house for $400,000, something that she couldn't afford in Los Angeles, and she was given $10,000. So this is fascinating. Amanda, remind me to look into this MakeMyMove.com website. I don't have time to look at it right now because we're live on the air, but that's fascinating. This remote working thing, if you want to move to a small town and get paid 10 to 20 grand to move there, I endorse that. Not a bad idea at all. All right, good stuff. My time is almost up. Remember this, you matter, and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.